after being at sea for ages, quietly in a hospital named for an automobile. The one child of millions of children who has flown alone by the stars above the black wastes of the moonless waters that stretch forever, who has turned golden in the full sun of the new day, a tiny, wise child who this time will love his life because it is like no other.
Okay, John, you have to pick more on this because the poem is a long narrative poem, and if you strum, it's going to, it can't be heard.
Justin, do you want me to stand up?
No, you can do it there because the band is going to be in front of us. It's going to be projecting out. It's okay. So you can be right there for the rehearsal. You'll be standing up. As a matter of fact, I can tell you as to where you're going to be standing. Let's stand here. Come back here. Let me just see where we're going to be for this. No, in fact, just you stay with the band for Act 2. Just stay with the band for Act 2. Sorry, Gary. Okay. Okay.
Okay, do you want this recorded on the audio tape?
No, this is okay. Okay, Gary, let me see when I put that down now.
Is that?
So, that reading was good. Okay.
I want to work on it a little bit, though. Smooth it out.
Let me get a pen to write that. I think the reading has to be more passionate.
Yeah.
It's just one more thing we've got to teach somebody to do, and I don't want to do it right at this stage. We'll use that for the many voices only. We're going to come down. We're going to walk it back here, Gary. Okay, you assume you'll have this. Okay. Okay. All right, Aaron, wherever you are.
I'll center over a little bit here.
Yeah, right. You'll be right in the center, okay? Like this. And we're going to move back and forth. And rock, whatever we're going to do, okay? Don't forget, the outside is the gray here, okay? Yeah, just for the many voices they've loaded before. Okay?
Just so I can catch the sound.
Somebody give me a reading as to how we look. Okay. Go, Gary.
Let me begin again. Let me begin again as a speck of dust caught in the night winds sweeping out to sea. Let me begin again, this time knowing the world is salt water and dark clouds. The world is grinding and sighing all night, and dawn comes slowly and changes nothing. Let me go back to land after a lifetime of going nowhere. This time lodged in the feathers of some scavenging gull, white above the black ship that docks and broods upon the oily waters of your harbor. This leaking freighter has brought a hold full of hay forks from Spain, great jeroboams of dark Algerian wine, and quill pens that can't write English. The sailors have stumbled off to the bars or the bright houses. The captain closes his log and falls asleep. 10:20, 1:10:28. Tonight I shall enter my life after being at sea for ages, quietly in a hospital named for an automobile. This one child of millions of children who has flown alone by the stars above the black wastes of moonless waters that stretched forever, who has turned golden in the full sun of the new day, a tiny wise child who this time will love his life because it is like no other.
Okay, you can turn it off. The first poem in the second part is a poem by Philip Levine, which Gary's going to read, and which he's going to give the title and the author of. This is the production.
Right.
Right, you just react. You move up there. No. I'm going to move you up, Gary.
Yeah. You got enough room now?
You're going to have to fly it while we're doing this, huh?
I can still go a little more if you want.
Let me just say something. Monet, Chris Ann, and Britt have to come down during the week, preferably on Wednesday or Thursday, to look at this and make your notes, because when we go into the show on Friday, you're going to be on your own. Well, then you guys got to figure out how to do it. If you have to come down, you have to get the video, bring it up to Monet, have Monet look at it, then bring it back to me. I don't want the video to be floating around. I have to look at it too myself and sell it. So it's your guide to what we're going to be doing. No, in fact, not on this one. In fact, no.
Can you hear me, Dave?
Okay. Let me just say that it's the only way you know what you're doing. You got to find a way to see this video. Because I don't have time on the night of performance to race around and tell you what to do. So you figure it out yourselves. So we're all big people. Okay, let's go. Turn on the camera, let's go.
Whoa. Dave? Yeah? Come on over here for a second. You guys talk, okay?
Let me begin again. Is that what you want me to do? Let me begin as a speck of dust caught in the night winds.
Okay.
Dust.
Okay?
No, because she's real quiet. You need to leave her alone. I don't understand why we're all going through the same side.
Let Me Begin Again by Philip Levine. Let me begin again as a speck of dust caught in the night winds sweeping out to sea. Let me begin this time knowing the world is salt water and dark clouds. The world is grinding and sighing all night. And dawn comes slowly and changes nothing. Let me go back to land after a lifetime of going nowhere. This time lodged in the feathers of a scavenging gull, white above the black ship that docks and broods upon the oily waters of your harbor. This leaking freighter has brought a hold full of hay forks from Spain, great jeroboams of dark Algerian wine, and quill pens that can't write English. The sailors have stumbled off towards the bars or the bright houses. The captain closes his log and falls asleep. 10:28. Tonight I shall enter my life after being at sea for ages, quietly, in a hospital named for an automobile. The one child of millions of children who has flown alone by the stars above the black wastes of moonless waters that stretched forever, who has turned golden in the full sun of the new day. A tiny, wise child who this time will love his life because it is like no other.
Good. Okay, guys. You've seen a lot of these productions. The idea is that, in fact, we're going to be your birds. So we're just going to do a little shake or things like that. And in fact, we're thinking
I'll poop on your car.
that, in fact, there'll be no face showing. No, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. First, let's read the poem. Quiet.
The Dream of Birds, second in a series by Susan Ludvigsen.
We just hear the poem now. Let's hear the poem.
Again, it was one I forgot to feed. Sometimes there are whole cages of finches, cockatiels, parakeets, living, but barely, on seed moldy with age, and no water. This time it was the peach-faced lovebird I once let go from his cage in a climate he might have survived in. He flew to sit on the fence and call back, his shrill chirp bewildered, angry. At last he went into a pine and away. Those iridescent tail feathers, turquoise and green. Those iridescent tail feathers, turquoise and green, I used to collect when they fell and send in letters to friends. In a dream early this morning, it was that bird. My heart went dark with remorse. I could feel the blood filling it fast, the way love does, and that regret.
Okay, let's do the tape.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Birds, second in a series by Susan Ludvigsen. Again, it was one I forgot to feed. Sometimes there are whole cages of finches, cockatiels, parakeets living, but barely, on seed, moldy with age, and no water. This time, it was the peach-faced lovebird
Keep it quiet in the back, please.
I once let go from his cage in a climate he might have survived in. He flew to sit on the fence and call back, his shrill chirp bewildered, angry. At last he went into a pine and away. Those iridescent tail feathers, turquoise and green, I used to collect when they fell and send in letters to friends. In the dream early this morning, it was that bird. My heart went dark with remorse. I could feel the blood filling it fast, the way love does, and that regret.
Get a haircut.
Ready?
Fag.
I'm going to read it once. Everybody quiet so you can hear it.
First take, poem 3,
Bass would be good on this alone, I think. I'm putting in my 2 cents. Okay. Go ahead.
The Theory of Prosody
I got change now.
by Philip Levine. When Nellie, my old pussycat, was still in her prime, she would sit behind me as I wrote. And when the line got too long, she'd reach, one sudden black foreleg down, and paw at the moving hand, the offensive one. The first time she drew blood, I learned it was poetic to end the line anywhere to keep her quiet. After all, many mornings she'd gotten to the chair long before I was even up. Those nights I couldn't sleep, she'd come and sit in my lap to calm me. So I figured I owed her the short cat line. She's dead now, almost 9 years. And before that, there was one during which she faked attention and I faked obedience. Isn't that what it's all about? Pretending there's an alert cat who leaves nothing to chance.
Put these on. Put that with masks in your back.
rock song, and I really hate playing it in mellow.
Shooting up here. Couldn't that be quiet for a fucking second?
Your head is above that, so we're going to have to record it.
Gary?
Yeah. Do that, I'm shooting up anyway.
What I want to say is, Gary, I need this higher for the production.
I can put it in those top holes.
Yeah, we need it higher.
Okay?
But no matter what,
run out of gray on the bottom, because you can't put to fit those holes.
That's all right. The bottom's pretty loud.
Okay.
Right, okay.
No problem.
Especially with the box.
I'll just build it up to the...
Good, okay, good. That'll take care of that situation so that you can focus. You have to go outside the gray, okay.
No problem. This one's always a little ironic.
Yes, it is. It's a funny poem. It's a funny poem. Okay, David, let her run it, because, I mean, that effect, she has to run the thing. Harry, get in
Are you recording now, Aaron? Yes, ma'am.
there. Okay, good, Gary, go. It's a go.
Take two. A Theory of Prosody by Philip Levine. When Nellie, my old pussycat, was still in her prime, she would sit behind me as I wrote. And when the line got too long, she'd reach one sudden black foreleg down and paw at the moving.
Stop.
By Philip Levine.
Yeah, I was kind of up to my guitar player and something.
No, we're just going to have, no, I'm just going to stand like completely still and use our elbows. Okay, let's go.
When Nellie, my old pussycat, was still in her prime, she would sit behind me as I wrote. And when the line got too long, she'd reach one sudden black paw down and paw at the moving hand, the offensive one. The first time she drew blood, I learned it was poetic to end a line anywhere to keep her quiet. After all, many mornings she'd gotten to the chair long before I was even up. Those nights I couldn't sleep, she'd come and sit on my lap to calm me. So I figured I owed her the short cat line. She's dead now, almost 9 years. And before that, there was one during which she faked attention and I faked obedience. Isn't that what it's all about? Pretending there's an alert cat who leaves nothing to chance?
Higher than your head.
Like so.
Higher than your head.
And go up.
Right.
Okay.
I think so, yes.
Or do you want it just on my shoulders and going up?
Let's try from the shoulders, but keep it.
Okay.
Okay, from the shoulders, okay. Get right back at me, we'll be okay. And I have you chanting Aguila. Okay? Very, very slow. Very, very slow. Just take your pick. Now is the silence of sleeping doves by Susan Ludvigsen. Slow. Now is the silence of sleeping doves. Now is the silence of the neighbor's cough, quieted by codeine. Now is the silence of lovers who've already forgotten how the moon came to whiten their open bodies. Now is the hour when breath wakens the skin with its pauses. And from out of that stillness, a dog barks, then howls, as if the whole night had been waiting, as if the dark being cleft by that sound, all of the wedges could fall deeper and deeper. Good, I like it, Gary. I want you a little bit louder on your geel, okay? It's wonderful how I jog on 4 honed down ivory toes, my massive buttocks slipping like oil parts with each light step. I'm to market. I can smell the sour grooved block. I can smell the blade that opens the hole and the pudgy white fingers that shake out the intestines like a hanky. In my dreams, the snouts drool on the marble, suffering children, suffering flies, suffering the consumers who won't meet their steady eyes for fear they could see. The boy who drives me along believes that any moment I'll fall on my side and drum my toes like a typewriter or squeal and shit like a new housewife discovering television. Or that I'll turn like a beast cleverly to hook his teeth with my teeth. Not this pig.
Way too.
Take. This poem is called "The Animals Are Passing From Our Lives" by Philip Levine. It's wonderful how I jog on 4 honed down ivory toes, my massive buttocks slipping like oil parts with each light step. I'm to market. I can smell the sour, grooved block. I can smell a blade that opens the hole and the pudgy white fingers that shake out the intestines like a hanky. In my dreams, the snouts drool on the marble, suffering children, suffering flies, suffering the consumers who won't meet their steady eyes for fear they could see. The boy who drives me along believes that any moment I'll fall on my side and drum my toes like a typewriter or squeal and shit like a new housewife discovering television, or that I'll turn like a beast cleverly to hook his teeth with my teeth. Not this pig. Living in the Country Just Before Marriage by Susan Ludvigsen. We'd been here weeks when the snake appeared on the stairs and slithered over my foot on its way between bedrooms. Probably, I said, they've been here all the time. Their lives spent under the steps and the walls behind chipped plaster. We thought we saw the tip of a tail sticking out. Scott prodded the hole with a knife, but it was gone. And now we walk calmly up and down as if this were a metaphor. The glimmering scales invented in that twilight hour when dreams turn language around and around so that it coils on itself, its raised head swaying to its own sibilant music, measuring pleasure in the rhythms of its tongue.
I don't know if I like that for that.
Gotcha, okay.
And then go.
Just as a reminder, when they look at this to pick up the tunes for next time, is that I would like them to start after the titles, which means Gary or Scylla, when you do the titles, wait for them to come in with the music.
Okay.
First note you're in on it, okay?
Are we giving the authors to?
Yes. The camera on. On My Own by Philip Levine. Yes, I only got here on my own. Nothing miraculous. An old woman opened her door expecting the milk, and there I was, 7 years old, with a bulging suitcase of wet cardboard and my hair plastered down and stiff in the cold. She didn't say, "Come in." She didn't say anything. Her luck had always been bad, so she stood to one side and let me pass, trailing the unmistakable aroma of badger, which she mistook for my underwear. And so she looked upward, not to heaven, but to the cracked ceiling her husband had promised to mend, and she sighed for the first time in my life, that sigh which would tell me what was for dinner. I found my bed and spread my things on the sagging mattress, the bright ties and candy-striped shirts, the knife to cut bread, the stuffed weasel to guard the window, the silver spoon to turn my tea, the pack of cigarettes for the life ahead. And at last, the little collection of worn-out books from which I would choose my only name, Morgan the Pirate, Jack Dempsey, the Prince of Wales. Instead, I chose Abraham Plain. I went off to school wearing a cap that said Ford in the right script. The teachers were soft-spoken women, smelling like washed babies, and the students were fierce as lost dogs. But they all hushed in wonder when I named the 400 angels of death and the planets sighted and unsighted, and the moment at which creation would turn to burn feathers and blow every which way in the winds of shock. I sat down, and the room grew quiet and warm. My eyes asked me to close them, and I did. And so I discovered the beauty of sleep, and that to get ahead, I need only say I was there, and everything would open as the darkness in my silence head had opened onto seascapes at the other end of the world. Waves breaking into mountains of froth, the sand running back to become the salt savor of the infinite. Mrs. Tarbox woke me for lunch. A tiny container of milk and chocolate cookies in the shape of Michigan. Of course, I went home at 3:30 with the bells ringing behind me and 4 stars in my notebook and drinking companions on each arm. If you had been there in your yellow harness and bright hat, directing traffic, you would never have noticed me, my clothes shabby and my eyes bright. To you, I'd have been just an ordinary kid. Sure, now you know. Now it's obvious, what with the light of the Lord streaming through the 9 windows of my soul, and the music of rain following in my wake, and the ordinary air on fire. Every blessed day I waken in the world. Okay, camera off. Great, guys, I liked it. Okay, let's go on to Many Voices. Take a break.
Or look at me, or love me for my inner ways.
That could be it, Whoa. Hey, it's 5 a.m. at the Greyhound station.
Yeah.
Well, Regalia.
Oh, Gypsy.
Dave, test. Dave.
That was me.
No, that was me.
Testing.
So quit blowing the mic.
What?
So it gets going. Wider. What?
Have you noticed
Microphone is not working.
Is it on?
I have not turned it off. It's working a
You
bit
look
ago.
nice.
It appears to be on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are we back in the house?
There.
Hello. There we go.
Now, talk, Gary.
Hello, this is Gary.
This is Scylla.
Gary.
Still here. Still here.
Scylla's still here.
Copacetic.
We're having Justin.
Make sure.
Hey, Justin, we're ready to record here.
Okay.
Come on.
So you get on the gray one.
Justin.
Jared, get on the black one.
Save some of that for me.
Brother. Okay, Justin wants me on his left.
Well, then we change mics. Well, here, change the whole stand. Well, yeah, because each one has its own.
This is good.
Okay, now, Garrett.
Yes, mate.
And now, Solar Justin.
Is giving the ghouls a run for their candy.
Some Chicago children are scaring up a new kind of costume, as CNN's Jeff Block reports.
It's back. And bigger than ever. Halloween, that is.
I'm going to be a clown.
A politically correct Halloween, to be exact.
I'm not none.
Well, not all of it.
We got Mr. Bill and Hillary. Oh, the other way around, actually.
No, not that politically correct either.
Big seeds, little seeds.
This politically correct. At Hatch Elementary School in Oak Park, Illinois, they're everything from fish
A swordfish.
to fruit.
A pineapple.
Okay, guys. No, we don't take a line on this one.
What?
Let's just get it done.
By your foot. By your right foot.
The thing you want to record, David, also is where these mics are, I think, in relation to these guys. We had this set last week. We should have been right on the beam on it this time. So it means we changed the mic locations on them. No?
Everything's still the same.
Okay, let's go.
Look, just pull his mic out of the PA and plug it into the 4-track. That's where all your music's coming in. It's right above his guitar. So it's going to drown everything out unless you change that.
But now we're not going to be able to hear you.
Well,
Then we have to do another. Then we have to do another sound check.
we're going to sound check right
Well,
now.
the thing is,
We'll do a sound check. It's okay. We'll do a sound check every time we change something until we get it right. Until we get it right.
Oh, we're recording.
Okay, let's everybody talk at once. Let's go. Just sing, John, and then give us a break and we can come in.
Okay.
Brett, if you sing with him, then just make up something. And then keep doing it, when we're talking too, when we break in finally. Okay. Gary, move over towards us a little bit more so we can really get to it. this, and then I did that.
Squash.
And then I didn't do anything.
Purple cloud.
Switch.
And then I pulled away.
Black rain.
And then I gave up.
Black rain.
And then I did it again.
Switch.
Black rain.
I will be your lover.
The rehearsal for the Sarasota Poetry Theater this Friday.
Just be glad I'm not Godzilla.
Yeah, but if we're not going to talk till he finishes his lyrics. We're just going to make raps. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong,
White snow.
ding dong, ding dong,
White mountain.
I don't know why he keeps stopping me, but it's always the same guy. It's down by the gated bar. He always say, hey, how come you're always talking your poetry?
White rivers.
Hey. How come?
Why don't you just write it down like everybody else? You just can't talk your poetry.
How
White
come?
faces.
How come?
And I never know what to say to him.
White faces.
And I usually just say, I speak my poems because I like to.
Talking black
How
words.
come?
But he never has any of that, you know. He wants to know what... Yeah, but what's the real reason? I mean, what's the real reason? You know, why do you do it?
Talking green words.
Why don't you just fucking write them down, man?
How come? How come?
Stop all that bullshit about talking.
How come?
Talking forward.
So I just had enough, and I told him that
Well,
I spoke my poems because if I wrote them
how come?
and then tried to speak them, then they'd sound like poetry.
Talking backwards. Talking with a forked tongue.
And I didn't want them to sound like poetry.
White teeth.
I wanted them to sound like I'm talking to you now,
Red lips.
as if I were a friend who had something he had to tell you, but didn't quite know how.
Going down.
And then something that I'm telling you makes everything get slippery,
Going down.
dark, until it opens up inside us,
Going to the river.
where it's beautiful
Finding that place
and dangerous,
that is black.
like fire.
That is white.
So that's what I told him. I told him that I spoke my poetry so that everything would get slippery and dark until
That is red.
it opened up inside us. It became beautiful and dangerous,
Red.
like fire.
Red.
Ding dong.
Red. Now that everyone's here, let me tell you what my problem is.
Oh.
In case, just in case you hadn't noticed, that, you see, my skin has been falling off of me. And these minute little black pieces,
Oh, you could put it in the window.
they fall like snowflakes.
Oh, yeah.
They're just never ending.
Yeah.
You could.
And when these little flakes hit the ground, they run around in little circles and give off small, muffled shrieks.
Oh, yeah, the window, yeah.
And the last time I looked in the mirror, well, I closely resembled Plate 14 in my college anatomy text.
Yeah.
Well, put it in the back window.
You know the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that makes you grimace when you see it.
You could still put it in the window.
Yeah. Okay.
The one where the eyeballs are popping out, just like mine.
Yeah.
Just like ping pong balls, just like the ones on Kermit the Frog.
Okay, yeah.
And they really look like they're just going to pop right out of my skull.
Well, maybe you shouldn't put them in the window then.
But they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
Watch, look. See? They don't fall out.
Oh, well.
Even if I stand on my head, they won't fall out.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I thought I was very strange and unique.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I thought they were going to put me in the medical textbooks.
In the window.
But, you know, damn it, I'm not the only one like me. I've seen other people in the same condition.
There are lots of windows.
Yeah.
They're slipping in and out of the shadows, behind trees, in and out of doorways, through alleyways. You know, I call out to them. I jump up and down and wave, but they don't answer me.
Oh, well, they wouldn't.
I don't know. Maybe there's some secret wave. You know, or maybe I'm just too new to the neighborhood.
Well,
yeah, could be.
You know, or maybe it's just that no one wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
Baby.
Or look at me. Or love me for my inner ways.
Well, that's the reason you couldn't. If you put it in the window, you couldn't do that. That's obvious. Isn't it? Obvious?
Well, those mannequins, they just stand there. Never, ever moving. Some of them are bald. Some are naked.
Make me feel so
Ooh.
Why can't you feel me?
Franklin Davis. A friend of mine. 20 years ago.
A man's best friend.
Franklin Davis and I were running mates.
Amen.
The red one.
Best friend.
Just out of school and living life like we were pulling through a drive-in.
Is a dog.
We worked all day in the car wash.
The red one, man.
It could be a little white
Cruised
dog.
all night in Franklin 67 Bonneville.
It could be
Smoking dope.
a little brown dog.
Talking about California.
Red.
And all the women out there with their asses tight and sleek as the Porsches they drove.
It could be a red dog.
Well, California was Franklin's dream.
Oh, that red one, yeah.
And before long, he headed that way.
It could be a red car.
I got a letter a year later.
It could be a red moon.
Said he was moving from Frisco to L.A.
Or a red tree.
He was going to be an actor. So I looked for Franklin in the movies. But but I never saw him
But you'd have to know
till last summer.
what color it really was.
Stopped at a red light
Inside.
at the corner of 5th and Washington. I looked over and there he was,
Like if it was light inside.
staring at me like he was looking at a head-on collision.
The red one. The red. Or black inside.
When the light changed, he turned left,
Red.
and I went straight,
Blue eyes.
swearing I must have been mistaken.
Blue car.
That was the last time I saw Franklin Davis,
Black heart.
but I read about him last month in the paper.
It's not beating anymore.
Said he was dead at the age of 38
It's
from pneumonia
not
after a long illness.
beating anymore.
And I sat there not knowing quite what to think
Clubbed up.
or quite what to feel.
Clubbed up.
The red one, man. The red one.
Clubbed up.
And slowly I realized that the last time I saw Franklin, the virus had already strapped him in slick and secure as an automatic seatbelt.
What do you say, bud?
Realizing how different our lives had become over 20 years.
Are you going my way?
The red one, man. The red one. Let's do it.
Realizing how much I still love my old running mate.
Can I catch a ride?
I haven't cried for him yet. But that'll come. That'll come someday when I see Franklin's life spray painted in red on the side of some old path.
How far did you say you were going?
I'm talking to you.
You want to do it again?
I'm talking to you.
I don't think that's true anymore.
Guys, we need a song. John, you're supposed to be coming in.
That's what he's doing.
Your first song. Okay.
I'm coming in.
Okay, just so we know. Okay. Talking to you.
No one knows the beauty, only the rain can stand. Now I have stayed long down into the sunshine. The should have looked away by now. The shore is no longer mine.
Sometimes I get up in the morning and I roll out of bed flat on my face.
Those sheets are dirty again.
And I just lie there, face down, counting all the little animals gliding by.
Put them in the washing machine, will you? Add a little bleach this time. Get them really clean, will you?
The rain, my soul loves me. The rain, my soul shines. The rain, my soul sees me through all the time. The rain, my soul loves me. The rain, my soul shines. The rain, my soul sees me through all the time.
And sometimes when I'm lying there, looking down at my own impression, something floats up somewhere above me, and sits there, looking down.
Hold them up and put them in the closet.
I will be a lover, beautiful and free. The difference is no other than what you mean to me. The young inside is dying, the dead will come too fast. You, my love, leaving before it comes to pass.
And sometimes when I'm up there, somewhere just above my head, all these little songs keep popping out.
Sort the towels while you're at it.
Like this one.
Into different colors.
Just before I fall back down, lying on my face again.
Float along, journey filled with tears. She is much beautiful, satisfied my fears. I am all alone now. Will I stay alive? I am slowly dying, but the rest is fine. My soul loves me. My soul shines. The rain, my soul sees me through all of these times. The rain, my soul loves me. The rain, my soul shines. The rain, my soul sees me through all of these times.
And sometimes when I'm looking down at the floor in front of me,
Where's the buttons?
I can see me just above my head,
Sort them in the muffin tin.
looking down,
By size.
saying something that I kind of understand,
Not by color.
and sometimes don't. I don't.
Kobe.
I don't.
Kobe.
I don't. Somebody else take the route for me. I don't.
Well, you know, I guess I should maybe talk about these friends of mine.
I don't think so.
You know.
Well, I'm going to. They say they're my friends.
You know.
And they're always asking me, well, are you looking for a job yet?
Baby.
And I have to say,
Are you?
no, I'm not.
Well, you should.
And then they tell me, well, what is it that you want to do? Do you know?
Yeah.
And I go, no, I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Oh, yeah, right. You know.
And then they ask me, Well, do you know why you left home?
Uh-huh.
You know why you left your husband? And I say, no, I really don't.
Yeah, right.
But maybe I do, but
You could.
But I just can't say. Or maybe I can say, but
she should.
I know how trite and irresponsible it would sound.
Yeah, it does, though. It does. It sounds all like that.
She knows.
So I just hang my head and let the guilt slide belly right down into my shoes. And, you know, I almost turn over.
Fuck it.
But I heard that little edge in their voices. And I know they're throwing their stuff at me. Hoping that I'll go down. Hoping that I'll go down so they can walk over me and not look back.
She knows.
And frankly, who needs friends like that?
She knows.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. That's what I said.
Take another route, Gary.
That's what I said.
So there's this old woman at work. And every day when she sees me, she grins and hides her face and whispers to my young assistant,
Who are you?
"There's that man.
Who are
There's that
you?
man with the shirts. What's he doing here?"
What's your name?
She knows me. She's just not sure from when.
I don't know you.
And I say, "Hi, how are you?
What are you doing here?
Are you ready to stand up and walk?" Then I help her up.
What do you
She
want?
says, "How far do you want me to walk?"
What do you want?
So I tell her how far, and she says,
Don't touch me.
"That's a fur piece. I don't think I can make it. Can I sit down somewhere now?" I tell her no. And we start to walk towards a room.
Leave me alone.
Someday she makes it.
Shut the
There
door.
was one day. She only made 50 feet. I had to stagger the last 10.
Shut the door.
And I helped her sit down and began to loosen up the brace she wears to keep from folding in half.
Turn out the lights.
And she looked at me and she says, "That thing hurts my chest.
Turn them out.
I think I have a heart in there." And I just laughed and said, "Yeah, I think so too."
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I think so too. I think so too.
I don't know.
I think so too.
I don't know you.
Dut, 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 dut.
What? What?
Closing the door.
What?
Closing the door.
Yes.
Closing
That's right.
the door.
You've got it exactly.
Closing the door.
Ding dong. 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 Dong.
Closing the door.
I'm sitting at the campfire
Cut time. Cut time for Chuck. Cut time for Chuck's song. Cut time.
Chuck, 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 chuck.
Yak, 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 yak. Yak, yak, yak.
Chuck, 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 chuck.
Yak, 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 yak. Go, go. Yak. Chick, yak.
I have the flu. I can't sing. I'm sorry.
Okay, just go ahead and just thumb through it. Just a couple of numbers. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'd like to tell you that the house I built is in good order.
I'm a fake.
But I can't, not really, because I'd be lying.
I'm a fraud.
Because there never really was a house. It was just something I made up.
The eyes I see with are not real eyes.
All there was a clearing that I'd found because I was looking for it.
They're plastic or metal, or maybe they're made out of cheese.
I found it because I was looking for it. Or maybe, in that way that places do, it was looking for me.
Their lying eyes.
And I somehow knew if I just lit a fire, that all the other animals who wanted to sing would come in.
Deceiving eyes.
And they did. They're here, singing for you now. I'd like to tell you that there haven't been any problems.
My eyes only look inward.
But there were several unexpected departures in the middle of the night.
They never look outward.
That we still don't like to think about.
They never look at you.
And then, of course, there was the day that the snakes crawled out of our eyes and our mouths onto the surface of the pond when we knelt down to sing.
They never look at your eyes.
And I'd like to tell you that they won't come back. But we all know that they will.
They never look at your heart.
despite it all, we have become a tribe.
Black eyes.
For some reason, each of us has decided to become but one voice among many.
Red eyes.
Beep bop bop. Where's the band? Did it fade on us? Beep bop bop bop. Beep bop bop bop. Sometimes it feels like I'm traveling through a harsh land. And when I look around me, everything is dry and rocky. There are many angels who have brought me here. Some have been dark, and some have been light.
Where are the animals?
And one is of a muddy color.
Where are they? She tells me she has come to help me. Where are the animals?
But when I look off into the distance,
Are they hiding?
all I can ever see is a thin red streak of sunlight bleeding through the crack between the horizon and the always lowering, always darkening clouds.
They don't seem to come here anymore.
And the funny thing about it is, I don't know if it's where I'm going or if it's where I'm coming from. I don't know why we keep singing all these songs of so many people speaking. except to give them back to you. And I'd like you to know that sometimes when we do, we disappear completely, forever. Then somehow we come back to you.
Okay, cut it. Hey, Brandon, let's look at the tape for a second if it's okay.